Welcome back to the San Fan Podcast. I'm Ari Rasulam,
Johnny Hale.
and today we got our first fantasy football focused video. As it's still fairly far away, but it's ramping up. So we thought we'd get our first rankings for our running backs. We're going to each be showing our top 10 running backs and then doing a little would you rather with some guys that were just off, just didn't make the top 10. I mean, it's been extremely busy, at least about a week ago. The NFL, I don't know what happened, ran a Monday. And there was just trades and shit going crazy.
Yes, AJ Brown was kind of the to be expected that was supposed to happen that
Yeah.
day, and
That
that
was
was
like the
kind of
worst kept secret in the
yes,
league.
that was pretty par for yeah. It wasn't even like I
Yeah.
thought he was traded the day the news broke. I didn't really understand the
Yeah.
gap in the time. I
Maybe
assumed it
just
was leaked.
compensation, just
Yes,
figuring that out.
but no, that insane day for
And then
sure.
Myles Garrett, that was the shocker.
Yeah, Rams probably everybody's Super Bowl favorite now
Yeah.
after that,
They gotta
especially with the
be.
rumors of Aaron Donald coming back with that. But yeah, it's gonna be hard for Stafford to be an MVP twice at 40.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't even got to be. He just, I mean, not that they should win the Super Bowl because it's obviously incredible.
I
They
don't know.
definitely should, but
I don't know if they were if he regresses. I don't know how they. I guess I can see how they're better with Miles Garrett, but I don't see
how they can,
how they could be a Super Bowl team if Stafford regresses. Like Stafford has to play at
yeah,
that same level. I feel like.
yeah. I agree, but this should be the I mean, their defense improved drastically this offseason. Got Trent McDuffie and Myles Garrett,
Yes, two first team All Pro candidate. I mean, the best defensive player in football and another first team All Pro candidate.
and then for the Browns, I think it's a win-win trade because while Myles Garrett, he is like obviously the best defensive player in the league, but his prime's probably 3 more years.
Yeah.
I'd give it, and while like in those 3 years, I don't think the Browns are going to really be competitive enough for it to be worth it to not get Jared Verse, who is arguably borderline top 10, top 15 edge rusher already. He's 24 or whatever.
Sure, yeah.
And you get first, second, and third round pick. I think I think it made a lot of sense for them.
I agree. I do think it made a lot of sense for him. I just don't. It's really hard for me to put some value on Hurst,
Jared Verse.
Jared Verse. Yes, it's really hard for me to put some value on him because he did regress a little bit in his second season. And Miles Garrett to me is a guy that's worth
I don't
at
know.
least three first round picks. And a good edge rusher is two first round picks, but it's really hard for me to say
Yeah.
that Jared Verse is worth two first round picks.
Yeah. But I think I'd say it's a win-win
I do think the Browns
overall.
needed to get off of him because I agree that you can bet on Miles Garrett being good for like 3 more years,
Yeah, like I
and
think
the
he
Browns don't look to be competent
really,
for the next three
yeah.
years. Maybe with some picks.
Yeah, exactly. And this next draft class is
Yes.
incredible.
Would you rather have a guy like Jared Verse or Ruben Bain?
Jared Verse.
Really, I agree. He
I've
is
just seen it.
proven. That is
And
very
I don't
true.
think he regressed this past year. No, I wouldn't say that.
Just numbers wise, he did a
I mean,
little
yeah,
bit.
more silly, double his sack total.
Yeah.
But obviously, yeah, sacks aren't everything. But and yeah, the more casual fan may not think Trevor is even all that because he only had like 5 sacks his rookie year, and like 8 sacks his past year. But he's like a super good in the run game and just gets pressures.
Yeah.
And then the Giants, we were busy picking up 3 receivers, which Odell, obviously I'm happy about that. I don't have super high expectations for it because
Yes.
he
Good to
is
see him back in the
33.
red, white, and blue,
But
but.
seeing one touchdown from Odell, that'll bring a tear to my eye.
As long as it's in the 13. If I see him in
Yeah,
three
Jalen
or less,
Hyatt
yeah,
picked that
taking
off.
drops.
And then we signed Juju and Braxton Berrios, which kind of makes me concerned about Malik Neighbors' health.
Yeah.
If they're not expecting him to be ready by the start of the year, it hasn't been super optimistic, I would say.
Yes, them signing three guys in one day, some veterans like that kind of makes it seem like they're a little weary too. Like they want to
Yeah.
have a backup plan.
We've got a lot of receivers. I don't really know who we're gonna roll out with as like the starting three week one.
Yeah, and if all these veterans can make it to week
Yeah,
one,
because
because you just signed three guys over 30. Is Juju 30 yet?
he's about 30
You
probably.
signed three receivers over
Yeah.
30. There's a chance one of them doesn't make
And
it to
then we
week
signed
one.
like Mooney and Calvin Austin
I
and
like Mooney.
Ramsey.
Mooney, I
I like
think,
Mooney
could
too.
be
I
a
think that's
good one
underrated.
if Neighbors doesn't.
One, I don't know. And we
For Neighbors games that he's not
maybe,
playing.
yeah. And we drafted Malachi Fields out of Notre Dame. He's a big body receiver. We'll see. But you ready to get into these top 10? All
I am very ready.
right. I'll let you start with your one. I think we have the same guy.
Yes, I have Gibbs as my one. I just think it's the best offense out of like the main running backs that are
Hmm.
going kind of in this range. Lions always put out a good offense. Gibbs is so explosive, so fun to watch. Guy I'd really like to have on my fantasy team. He's
Hmm.
projected 1,225 and a half yards, or like that's his odds on DraftKings, and then 12 and a half rushing touchdowns, higher than damn near everybody
Yeah.
else.
It's both the highest I've seen. Like he's tied for the highest rushing yard total and touchdown total. It's not even counting his receiving stats. And it felt at the end of last year he was kind of taking over as that lead back. David Montgomery obviously leaves, and they signed Pacheco, but Dan Campbell has came out and said like he's going to be a workhorse. He can do everything in the offense. I mean, this sky's the limit for him.
Very much so.
And then number two, I think these two guys are in the tier of their own. Bijan. You could make the argument for one. I just think the Lions have a bit better of an offense, which makes his floor a little safer. I mean, they both got incredibly high ceilings. Bijan last year he was RB2 last year.
And the RB1 prior were correct.
The year before?
Yeah.
No, no.
I thought the year you had him, he was RB1.
No, he wasn't RB1
Okay.
that year. But RB2 last year, he finished above Gibbs. And I mean, they lose Algier, so maybe he'll get a little more run, even though he's pretty much the workhorse. They signed Brian Robinson. So there's really, I mean, he's arguably the best running back in the league. It's really,
Yeah, talent wise, I think he's right there with Gibbs. I think
yeah.
the argument to put him at one, my big thing with running backs is just offensive line and offensive talent. If you have a better offense, you're going to score more
Mhm.
touchdowns to me is kind of how I look at it. But the argument for Bijan to be one is he got 2,000 plus scrimmage yards with like
Yeah.
relative ease
It
last year,
felt
it
like a
seemed like.
quiet season.
Yes.
It just maybe the touchdowns are not quite as high, but he could reach that.
Yes. And I think it could be a lot more steady football play with Tua and Penix there. I just think that's a bit
Yeah.
more serviceable of a backup outcome you have there. Kirk wasn't terrible, and he's gonna be a good Raider,
Yeah.
but
He's gonna be a good Raider.
that's what I'm saying.
We'll see. And then the third guy, I have McCaffrey.
Okay, we can talk about. I'm down to talk about.
Do you have a different?
I do have a
Okay,
different guy at number three right now. Should I drop him now, or should we talk about
we'll
McCaffrey?
talk about McCaffrey.
Okay.
McCaffrey finishes the one last year, keeps doing it. Seems like people get a little scared of drafting him, which is fair because with these big, like long season injuries he's had, he can just miss a whole year anytime. But whenever he's out there, he is the best fantasy running back whenever he's out there. And so he is any he can be finishes the one. It just seems there's more risk with than the other two guys, and he is getting older.
Yeah, I think he's approaching 30 years old, if not 30 years old at this
Yeah.
point. So that's kind of the biggest fear with me there with his injury history
Hmm.
is why I actually have him at six in my running
Whoa.
back rankings,
I'm
just
at
because
six.
I think he's in that same tier of these next few guys that we're probably going to talk about. And just that injury risk is so much higher with him for me than it is with any other guy. Like it feels like the other guys are kind of climbing in their career and
Yeah,
McCaffrey's kind of
sure.
plateauing, if not declining. Like he did
Sure.
look a step slower last year, in
Yeah,
my
I would
opinion.
definitely agree with that.
But I still think he's going to be the main part of the Niners
And he
offense.
just gets so many catches. Like he's their
Yes.
number one receiving option.
He's like, we're probably going to talk about this guy later, but he's Devon A-Chain in a better offense.
Yeah. Yeah, but also Devon Achane's at least a guy you think is ascending. I mean, we'll get to him
Yes.
later, but because he does have some concerns.
But he's never had a McCaffrey like season.
No, no, he hasn't. And then so
Should we go number four?
who's
So
your third guy?
I have James Cook as my third running back,
Okay.
and I actually just moved this as we were looking at Vegas lines going into this video, but his over-under lines for rushing yards and touchdowns are 12.49 and a half and 10 and a half touchdowns, which is fourth right now in
Hmm.
touchdowns and tied for first in yards at the moment. And I just think the Bills are such a good rushing offense. The one thing I don't like about the Bill or having James Cook on my team is Josh Allen vulturing touchdowns at
Sure.
the goal line.
Yeah.
But their rushing offense was so good last year. There's no reason it shouldn't be this year, other than I guess losing Sean McDermott. I don't know how big of a contribute. I know
Yeah,
he's a
but they still got
defensive
Joe
guy.
Brady.
Yes,
So the offense should be running similarly. The only thing, I mean, I have James Cook not much farther down. The only thing with him is he just doesn't really get involved in the receiving game that much.
agreed.
And he is like out of these top five, six guys, he's not like a three down back as these guys are because it's always Ty Johnson that comes in on pretty much every third down or any like 2 minute drill, which I mean, I guess maybe just keep him fresh. I think he can do all the stuff Ty Johnson does. Like just give him the ball in space. He's an explosive playmaker.
Yes. And it's
But
solely that I'm just in love with this offense over
mhm,
the other offenses that are in
sure.
this tier. And McCaffrey is just too old for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, McCaffrey definitely has the most injury risk at least, and he is getting old, so we could just see another step down. But
If he plays 16 games, I'd take him in the top three. But
exactly.
I can't bet on him playing 16
Yeah.
games.
And James Cook, I mean, did lead the league in rushing, kind of a quiet. I feel like it was kind of quiet. They
He
led the
gets
league in
almost
rushing.
1,600
I
yards
think he had
too.
over 600 yards.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, he's a safe bet. Probably going to get your could get 1,400 yards, 12 touchdowns. Just the receiving line. He doesn't get a lot of receptions, which
Yes.
in a
And
PPR
my
league.
first round pick, I want it to be a safe pick, somebody that's going to be steady for
Yeah,
me
that's
all year.
fair. And then
Where are
get
we
the
at?
four. I assume we have the same guy.
We're at five now, right?
No,
Because
we both
that's
said three.
oh,
You
okay.
said James Cook is your third, and then
Yes.
McCaffrey. Then four, I got Jonathan Taylor.
Four, I also have Jonathan
So we can just
Taylor.
talk about him here. JT was looking like he was maybe gonna break the rushing or break the touchdown record last year before Daniel Jones got hurt. He definitely back half of the year was much worse. So was that whole Colts offense. But Jonathan Taylor, I mean, when he plays a full season, because he has had some injuries here and there, he's just like consistently finishing as a top five running back, and he could be the number one overall back. It is a little concerning with Daniel Jones maybe off that Achilles. Obviously, he probably won't be as good, and the offense probably won't be running as well as it was at the start of the year last year. But I don't really see money much like concerns in his game.
No, he's projected more touchdowns, or his line is
Yeah,
higher than James Cook is rushing touchdowns right now, and I think that has to do with Josh Allen vulturing touchdowns at the goal line. So Vegas might know something there. But yeah, Jonathan Taylor is just so talented, fun player to have on your fantasy team. It's just I don't love watching the Colts offense unless Indiana Jones is playing.
yeah. I mean, because like I said, they were like the best most efficient offense like
Yeah,
ever those first like 8 weeks of the year.
yes, but is he? He's not gonna be healthy for week one, is
I
he?
think he is. I think they're saying he's going to be healthy by training camp.
I wonder what statue Vanilla Vic is gonna look like. That's gonna be completely
Yeah.
different
I
as a
mean, 'cause he
player.
wasn't
He
compared
wasn't
to
as mobile.
as like he was on the Giants, but he's still there's that concern of read option, which could open up holes for JT. And another thing with JT, again with James Cook, he's not doesn't get super involved in the receiving game. They just don't seem to pass their backs that often. But he is a third down back, like DJ Giddens, who's like the backup, never really gets in.
And Jonathan Taylor, like if he plays every game, there'll be games he gets 30, 40 carries. And
Exactly.
James Cook doesn't in those
Yeah. And
games.
JT can break up. I mean, he's breaking an 80-yard touchdown at any time,
Yeah.
give you those 40-point games. So I think, yeah, you can't really go wrong with that in your first round pick.
Yes. So we're at five
Five.
now. My five or your five?
Why not James Cook, who we've already discussed? So
All right. This is probably my biggest shock here. I have Ashton Genty
there we
over
go, a little
McCaffrey.
homer pick.
Yes, I just want to have him on my fantasy team this
Yeah.
year if I can. If I kind of fall at the back half of that first round, kind of hoping to take him. If Almond Ra's off the board, that's probably where I'll be looking to go. But no, I feel it. I know he's
I mean,
talented.
yeah,
Kubiak's hopefully coming to be
should
a
be a
genius.
big improvement.
I don't want to see a Raider go beat me in the playoffs this year. I want him to be on my team. And I'd rather have the up and up climb of Genty than McCaffrey
I
plateau.
mean, yeah, it seems like that second year leap, like everyone's expecting him to take. And he had like a good solid rookie year, 10 touchdowns, over 1,000 total yards.
And
Again,
we were dog shit.
awful. The Raiders should be much better. Getting Linderbaum should be huge for him.
Yes.
So, I mean, I have him not that quite that high, a little bit lower. But I can see where the excitement comes from, and obviously as a Raider fan, I can see why you'd want to have him on your team.
Yes. But the hard thing with him is I don't like being optimistic about the Raiders because it always leads
Yeah,
me down a horrible path. And I can't expect this offense to be top half this year. We were the worst team in football last
yeah,
year.
but even if they're close to the middle of the pack, like
1,500 scrimmage yards and 10 touchdowns isn't too far a
no,
picture from
not at
last year.
all. And like as for like his rushing yard line is fairly high,
Yes.
over 1,000 yards, which not a ton of backs have.
No, but that's close to top 10, if not right in the top 10.
Yeah, so they're expecting him to have a nice second year leap.
Yeah, and everything Kubiak came out and said about him has been high praise. He's a freak.
Yeah,
They want to use him as that workhorse. And
and they will. I mean, they drafted Mike Washington Jr., who,
little Darren McFadden
yeah, I
bump
liked
right
him before
there.
the draft, but I don't think there's going to be any sort of split or anything
No,
going
I
on
agree.
there.
So
And then, yeah, James Cook at five, we discussed. I just think his ceiling is a bit below the guys above him, as I have McCaffrey and
yeah,
JT.
I would agree.
He does have a high floor, but again, with like this not getting my biggest concern is just his receiving work and like him not being a three down back. It's
Yeah,
really
I
where that
see.
comes from.
Yes.
And then at six, I have a guy who this may seem high, but year in, year out, he consistently is a top 10 back, like quietly. I have Chase Brown
Okay.
at RB6.
Okay.
And Vegas would say otherwise. They have his lines very low, only 824 yards and 5.5 touchdowns.
This is strictly rushing now.
Yes, and yeah, and he gets super involved in the receiving game. I just think they didn't add anyone. That still Samaje is the only other back there. Last year he finished at the RB7 and he was like pretty awful the first like 5, 6 weeks of the year. And even the year before that, it was like Zach Moss was like getting more work than him to start the year, and then he finished as a top 10 RB. If like he's gonna play the whole year, well, not gonna play the whole year, but stays healthy the whole year, he's gonna start as a lead guy. Hopefully Burrow doesn't have another injury, which is kind of what led to a slow start. I think he could has a ceiling to be a top five back with how involved he is in the receiving game and how good of an offense the Bengals have.
Yes, I think he's kind of especially if he plays 16, 17 games, the lock to get at least 50 catches on the season,
Yeah,
probably another 5 touchdowns receiving.
yeah, exactly.
And that puts him at probably 12 touchdowns on the year and close to 1,400 scrimmage
Yeah,
yards, which is a great season. Little Arian Foster comp, maybe, but like,
it's high
no, him
praise.
in this Bengals offense could be very scary. My
Hmm.
biggest thing is I had him last year in fantasy, and that fall off he had scared the absolute dog shit off of me. I actually pivoted off of him, I think week four,
Well,
week
yeah, as I'm
five.
saying, and then from that point
He
on,
actually he grew
he
a
was
lot from
very.
there.
I mean, he finished RB7, like which was kind of insane that he was above a guy like Derrick Henry.
Yes. But the two guys that we haven't discussed that I have ranked above him right now, one of them I just think I love his offensive coordinator, and the other one is just he's ran for 2,000 yards in his career. So that's
Yeah,
the ceilings on these guys.
there's a couple of 2,000 yard rushers on here actually.
I I do like Chase Brown a lot though.
Yeah, it feels like not quite of a sexy pick or really a name that jumps out at you, but he just continues to produce, and
Yes.
I think he has a good floor and a high ceiling in this offense.
Yes.
And then, so who's your six?
So so my top six we've talked about. So my seven is
Well, who's your RB6? Huh?
my RB6 McCaffrey.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
My RB7 is Hampton.
Okay.
I have Amari in Hampton. I love Mike McDaniel's offense. I love watching it operate. This is someone I want to have a piece of this offense, of this Chargers offense, whether it's Herbert somewhere on my team. I want to have Hampton. Gadsden was fun to have last year, even though
Hmm.
McDaniel wasn't the offensive coordinator. But I just think Hampton's an athletic freak. He's not honestly too far off from Genty
Hmm.
in just, I think, what he brings to the table this year.
Yeah. I mean, I have him a fair bit lower. I do like Amarion. I just, and he was good last year he played. He had a lot of injuries back and forth, and the O-line should be much better with Alt and I'm like
Slater,
Slater. Both
Ron
were
Slater, yeah.
out for pretty much all of last year. That should improve them a ton. I just think some of the guys I have ahead of him, I don't know, I just find their ceilings a little more. I feel like Vidal was very was he was played well in while Amari was out, they could lead to a bit of a split. But I think Martin's still going to be the lead guy. I do like him quite a bit. So I
Yes, I
don't.
see that
I
being
like.
a little scary, and I don't hate Chase Brown being ranked above him because he's proven in the
Yeah.
in this offense, and the offense you can predict to be better. But I just love how Mike McDaniel's offenses operate
Yeah,
through
and I
running
mean he's
backs.
had running backs produce like A Chain
Yes,
and Mostert produced a lot.
yes.
And then yeah, for seven I have Gentry you discussed.
Who's your
And
eight?
eight I got Derrick Henry,
Okay.
who I mean it seems like every year we expect him, he can't do it again, he's gonna fall off. And this past year I had him and he was a little underwhelming, I'd say, for it felt for Derrick Henry standards. But I mean, if you look at his end of season numbers, 1,500 yards, 16 touchdowns,
45 points,
which
most importantly,
I
good
mean, do
season.
yeah, which I didn't get to enjoy that.
Yes.
But he's pretty much a shoe-in for 1,300 yards, 12 touchdowns. Receiving work is pretty much nothing. But I think as much a safe pick as you can get, he's one of the safest options, unless we do see that fall off that people may expect to happen.
Yes, my biggest thing with Derrick Henry is that age thing, kind of
Yeah,
same with McCaffrey, but I kind of Lamar stays healthy all year. This Ravens offense is going to be really good, and this Ravens offense is going to be
yeah,
rush heavy.
yeah. And yeah, with Lamar, that was the majority of where he wasn't doing very good is when Lamar was out. And obviously Lamar he runs a lot, could get injured any time, but if he stays healthy, I think Derrick Henry.
Vegas has him projected super high. They think this
Yeah,
Ravens offense is going to do great. He's tied
uh,
for the lead in rushing yards with his
and
over underline and in touchdowns.
yeah,
So that's like you said, super safe pick.
mhm,
Like him, like top five offense in football.
yeah,
So he's Derrick Henry. So
yeah.
gotta be top 10. I have Saquon
Okay,
as my number eight guy. So, but I think we're kind of like consensus. Like, are we on eight right now?
yeah,
Seven?
eight,
So
yeah,
yeah, I have Saquon, but I have Saquon above Chase Brown and Derrick Henry.
hmm
And my whole, like I said, 2,000 yards, his ceiling I think is so high. I think
hmm
Saquon's him and Bijan and Gibbs are probably the most freakishly athletic guys in the league. And I think this Eagles offense, even though Hurts is going to vulture touchdowns on the 1 yard line, it's not fun that Hurts does that. But I think Saquon, the the risk of him going for 2,000 yards and 2,000 scrimmage yards. I don't know if he's rushing for 2,000
I'd
again,
be yeah, I doubt it.
but I just think this Eagles offense is still going to operate at a playoff level, and I think Saquon's a top five talented back in this league.
Yeah, I don't have him in my top 10. I'm just outside. I mean, yeah, he is still one of the most talented runners. He did, for his standards last year, was very underwhelming. And like he was
Agreed.
below 4 yards a carry. He still finished over 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns. But, maybe we do see a bit of a regression. Maybe that wasn't just like a fluke year. Maybe he does start to regress a little bit.
I agree that could happen. He is creeping up there in age a little
Yeah.
bit, but I think the Eagles were just a little bit dysfunctional last year.
Yeah.
I'm not an Eagles fan, but I like to root for the Eagles. I have nothing against them. I don't mind Jalen Hurts. We got an Eagles
I
hater
have
over
everything
here.
against them.
But no, I just think that they're gonna. I don't know if I have much basis for why that I think the Eagles are gonna operate a little bit better. But Saquon's over under is 1,100
Mhm.
and 7.5 touchdowns. That 1,100 is
One of the higher lines.
yes, and I just like that Eagle. I think this Eagles offense is safer than an offense like Miami, close with Green Bay, and then definitely better than like the Raiders, the
Mhm.
Colts, close with the Chargers.
Yeah. And then so we can get to nine. I
Yeah.
have Devon A. Chain.
Okay.
And I mean, he was the RB5 last year. He was incredible. He's been incredible the last 2 years. The big concern with him is just the Dolphins' offense might be just so bad.
Yes.
That is the only concern. I mean, they brought in Willis. Their receivers are just like non-existent. I don't even know who the like one is. Like, who is their number one receiver?
Yeah.
Malik Washington? Like,
That sounds about right.
I
Yeah.
don't. It's pretty insane. But that
Darren
also
Waller might still be in that room.
yeah, like I don't even know who they got. They drafted some guys, I'm sure. I can't remember off the top of my head. But A-Chain is just so involved in the receiving game. He could get 80 catches, they're and he is a great runner, explosive. I feel like is underrated as a between tackle runner and a strong runner. He's not just like I mean, he's extremely fast, but I just think I couldn't really put him much lower than 9 because he just is just too high of a ceiling with all those catches he gets. I do get the concern with how bad their offense might be, and he might not be a fun player to have on your team just because it might be like, damn, Dolphins are at 30-15 again.
Yes.
But I think if they do play a little bit better than expected, like he does have a ceiling where he could be a top 5 back easily.
Definitely has a ceiling where he could be a top five back easily. And yeah, my biggest thing with I have him at my 11 running back. I
Hmm.
have Hampton and Saquon over him just
Hmm.
because I'm so terrified of this Dolphins
Yeah.
offense. Having running backs in the worst offenses in football is really rough. And
Yeah.
the things that scare me with a guy like A-Chain is he's a little, I don't want to say undersized because he's a great NFL player, but he's
His,
small compared to
yeah,
other NFL running
sure.
backs. So his injury risk is just a little bit higher for me. Being in a bad offense, he's going to take more hits behind the line of
Yeah.
scrimmage, unexpected. I just feel like that injury risk is even higher being in a projectedly worse offense
Hmm.
than probably he's ever been in his
Yeah,
career.
it'd have to be.
So it's hard for me to project him very high with his ceiling being very like he could have a very good season, but I just don't want any part of this Dolphins
Yeah,
offense.
that's fair. Who do you have at 9?
At 9, I have Chase Brown.
Okay, so we've discussed him.
Yes.
Oh, my 10, I have Kenneth Walker.
Okay, and I have Kenneth Walker right below Josh Jacobs.
Okay, Josh Jacobs, I mean, we'll get to him. It's a little iffy, his
Yeah.
situation going on. But for Kenneth Walker, now on the Chiefs, they gave him a bag. I think he's going to be the lead guy. I know, as you've said, that they seem to always have a split there with the Chiefs, but he's, I think he's the best back, most talented back they've had since Kareem Hunt the first time around when he was a rookie in his second year, and he was putting up unbelievable numbers. And I think Mahomes should be good by week 1. The Chiefs offense, they're always good. They were good last year before Mahomes got hurt. I just think they gave him a lot of money. He could have a ceiling where he puts up 1,200 yards, 500 receiving yards, 12, 13 touchdowns.
Yeah, I don't really have anything to combat what you're saying. My biggest thing is I'm a Chiefs hater. I have the same feelings about the
Yeah,
Chiefs as you do about the Eagles.
sure.
I took Mahomes 2 years ago when I think the Chiefs won the
They-
Super Bowl, and he sucked in fantasy. It was
yeah,
really atrocious to have, so it just grew my hatred even more for the
sure.
Chiefs. Um, I do feel like there is going to be a bit of a split, especially at the goal line. He's going to get touchdowns vultured just by fucking Andy Reid schemes.
But like what, like shovel passes to Kelsey or like,
Kelsey, fucking
but like,
whatever fuck shit running back they have.
I mean,
Clyde might
they don't
steal
even, well,
something.
their backup running back. I mean, they got Emmett Johnson, the running back out of Nebraska, taken like the 5th round.
Okay,
Is
yeah.
like seems
No,
to be the back right now. There's really not much competition there. They gave Kenneth Walker 15 million a year, which is he's one of the highest paid backs. They clearly like him a lot. I think he's going to be used as that workahorse. I mean, that's my
Mahomes
prediction
coming
too.
off of injury, there's reason to believe that they try and lean on the run
Yeah,
game. Like they don't want Mahomes to have to try
and
and do too much.
maybe he won't be the full third down back with Brashard Smith, who's kind of just used as that receiving back. But I envision him as going to be a workhorse. That's my prediction for him, and I think his talent. He's one of the more talented backs in the league.
He hasn't shown this year that he can go be other than honestly in the playoffs last year, but he hasn't shown for a full season he can be a workhorse back because
I
he
mean,
in Seattle. I feel like he was hurt when he was the workhorse.
yeah, he does get hurt from that. Last year he was pretty much out the whole year.
So is that
It
sharp,
was split with Charbonnet. They just were splitting 50-50, which as a Kenneth
and I think
Walker.
that's the key to Kenneth. That's how you keep Kenneth Walker fresh and healthy.
Yeah, but I don't think they're gonna give him all that money now, but it's not gonna be that much of a split as it was with
Yeah.
Charbonnet. Maybe it's not gonna get all the third down, maybe it won't even be the third down back, but I think it'll be every first down. I think it'll be the goal line back.
The reason I have Jacobs higher is just because I think his injury risk is a little lower. I think he's going to play. I don't think the NFL is going to do much to harm
Yeah.
him. I think his injury risk is just a little lower, though he is kind of approaching that running back age decline.
Hmm.
So, and Kenneth Walker just got a bag, but I just like Jacobs a little more.
Yeah. I just think with Jacobs, I mean, again, there's a big concern with whatever he's got going on. Maybe he's gonna get suspended.
If Jacobs gets suspended, give me Kenneth Walker.
Yeah, yeah.
100%.
And Jacobs does seem to get banged up each year a little bit. I know he's a strong back, but he does get banged up a bit. He just hasn't been super efficient the past couple of years. He gets
Yeah,
a
yes.
ton of touchdowns.
Always has kind of struggled with efficiency. It's kind of
Yeah.
felt like even back in his Oakland, Vegas days.
So, I mean, for Jacobs, out of my top 10, my rankings aren't really set in stone. I have him as of now at RB 14.
I have him at 12.
Okay. So we have pretty similar. But I mean, we've discussed both of our top tens.
Yes.
Now, do you have a couple other guys you want to bring up? Some would you rather's between guys that just missed it on both of our lists?
Um, yeah, some guys that I would probably have some trouble deciding between right now, like if drafts were coming up, is like a Jacobs, Kenneth Walker would be a hard draft. We won't
Okay.
talk about that one right now because Jacobs is still up in the air.
Yeah.
But A-Chain Derrick Henry. Let's talk about that one
A-Chain, Derrick
right
Henry.
now. If that's probably like the 15th pick right there.
About
It's kind
middle
of
second round pick.
yeah.
I think, yeah, I don't know,
We'll say half PPR for our
yeah, it's
format.
full PPR. I'm probably leaning A-Chain just because those receivings, but I'd probably go Derrick Henry, just a safer offense. I mean, I do have him ranked higher.
Let's do one. I know I have my pick here. Let's do Genty and HN, two kind of shitty offenses.
I think I go Genty again.
Just because you think,
I think the offense is going to be better. I think Genty's got, we haven't even seen his ceiling. I think
sure,
he could, I mean, he could finish the top three RB potentially if he really puts it all together. And I mean, he was a six overall pick, so we know he's a highly talented prospect.
yes.
But I have some like guys that we haven't even discussed at all. Maybe like Javonte and Kyron.
Yeah, those aren't names that I can like they don't come to mind as like top 10 guys, but like
These are
sneakily like these guys are gonna be steady for you,
that's
I
what I'm
think.
saying. That like these are guys that are outside the top 10, just some guys that third, fourth round picks that you might
Yes.
be signing between.
Um, So I have Kyron higher in my rankings
Hmm.
right now,
Sure.
but kind of thinking about it and like talking about it out loud, I kind of like Javante a little more. I think there's a little less competition in that backfield.
Yeah, that's kind of my
And yeah, I just think there's a little more competition. Kyron's a little older than Javante. Javante has had the injury history early in his career,
Mhm.
but he was super fucking solid last
Yeah.
year. And they have the same over underlines.
Same yard, yeah, for touchdowns and yards.
Yes.
I think, yeah, the main difference, why I slightly lean Javante is just the split. Blake Corum and Kyron are literally splitting drives for
Yes.
the good majority of the season. And I think it's going to be a similar thing. I would say the Rams, I would slightly give them the better offense, but Cowboys still have an unbelievable offense.
Yes.
I think Javante, again, not going to be a super sexy pick, but I think it'll be a really solid RB2 to have on your
Yes.
team.
I agree. I think he's a really solid fourth round pick. Um, what about Brees Hall or Jeremiah Love? Two kind of
Okay.
shitty offenses.
Yeah.
One guy we've never seen before.
I think that's a good one because we don't know really what Jeremiah Love. They have so many backs there.
Yes, that's kind of like every the way it's kind of talked about is James Conner's dust, but like he hasn't like shown
Yeah, I mean,
anything.
it seems like this is another big injury he had. He would miss a couple games each year, but it wouldn't be a super serious injury. This was the most serious injury he's had since,
Cancer.
yeah, honestly. And they did take Jeremiah Love with a third overall pick. Like that is I mean, he's one of the highest paybacks in the league already.
Yes.
Like they're investing a
Most
lot in
guaranteed money
him.
for any back in
Yeah.
the league, right?
But they also signed Algier, which I don't really know what they're doing. They re-signed Connor. They gave Connor a new contract. I
And they sign Algier, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't really know what.
Like the talent they think is too good to pass up there, but what do you do with a running back? Do you develop him like a quarterback and let him like sit behind guys and
I
learn,
don't
or
think
do
so, but
you,
he's
I
gonna
feel like
play.
you learn by playing as a
Yeah,
running back
and
more than a quarterback.
yeah, so that's a good question. They have the same over underline. It,
Exact. I didn't see a touchdown for
I
Breeze.
didn't I didn't assume for Jeremiah.
5.5 is what I saw
That's
for
fairly
Jeremiah
low.
Love.
And I think he'll be pretty involved in the receiving game too. Just You get
Yes.
him the ball in space, and he'll make something happen.
I think it's very possible he could have a Genty-like season next year, but
Yeah,
there's so many other backs in that backfield.
yeah,
And the
and
Jets are the Jets. So
that,
that's the
yeah. I
comparison there
mean, sure, it should be a bit of an improvement.
with
Gino, I
Geno.
guess.
Yeah, I think I heard somebody make this analysis, but I do think he's kind of gonna kind of play in between his Raider and his Seahawk days. Not gonna be as shit as it was as a
Hopefully, I mean, we'll
Raider,
see.
but
And then Braylon Allen was out for a majority of that year, and they were splitting a fair amount, like at the very start of the
Braylon
year.
Allen's a solid back too. He's a
Braylon Allen
good
is
power
solid.
back, punch you in the mouth type of guy.
So I think around draft day, I'd probably lean Jeremiah Love.
Yeah, I think the upside
Just see,
there.
I just don't want to draft a Jet, but also the
Brees
Cardinals.
Hall like sneakily won leagues last year though. Like he fell, I think, to the fifth or the sixth round in our draft last year
Yeah,
and
yeah,
became a really, really, really solid RB3 on a lot of good
yeah. Like that's a
teams.
solid flex because he is. I mean, he's a great player, and he can break off big plays, and he gets pretty involved in the receiving game.
Yeah,
But I think just when I'm drafting, I think I'd lean Jeremiah Love. It just seems a little.
I have Brees Hall above him right now, draft day. That could change, especially as lines
Mhm.
may come out. But yeah, I just don't know what this split is going to be in Arizona with James
Mhm.
Conner, Algier. Like they paid him, they're gonna have to. They should give him
Yeah,
touches.
yeah. It's really gonna be interesting how much work he actually ends up getting.
Yes.
Another two guys want to bring up ETN
Okay.
in the new offense, and then Bucky. These are kind of guys I have in a similar spot.
Yeah, I have them back to back in my rankings at 19 and 20. I have
It's him.
Bucky ranking higher. And my
Yeah,
thing there is just probably a little more easy to project. But the Saints could have a sneaky good offense
they
this
could win
year.
that division, honestly. Like,
That division,
it's
yes,
not good.
oftentimes comes out flat.
Yeah, 9-8, 8-9 team could win that division.
Very much so. And Shug, however
Yeah,
you want to say it, was super solid for a rookie last
he
year.
was. I thought he was going to be awful, honestly. I thought he was a terrible second round pick, but it
Agreed.
surprised me.
And
And
ETN, I still think is a talented
mhm,
back. Yeah,
was an RB10 last year.
yeah.
Like, finished very high.
Jags kind of just like gave up on him. It kind of felt like so
Yeah.
he's definitely going to New Orleans with a chip on his shoulder and something to
And they
prove.
gave him a good amount of money, too.
Yes, and sounds like Kamara's non-existent there.
I
Like
mean,
he's gonna be gone, or
that's kind of why I have Bucky just above.
I also have Bucky
Just because
just
I think
above.
that it's gonna be. I mean, Kamara's still there. He still is like solid, even though each year he seems to get a little bit worse.
Yes.
I think it's gonna be a bit of a split.
Yes, I'm fully in agreement there. And even though there is an annoying split in Tampa, I guess Rashad White's gone now,
Yeah,
so
but
it might not be a
they signed
three-man.
Kenneth Gainwell.
That is, and Kenneth Gainwell is a fun guy to have in your backfield. So Sean Tucker, Bucky Irving, Kenneth
Yeah,
Gainwell, like
it's just maybe
Bucky's
maybe
going
it's this
to get a lot of
Oregon
touches.
bias that I have for Bucky and how good he was his rookie year. Because last year, I mean, he was solid before he got hurt. Then when he came back, he was kind of whatever. They kind of eased him back in. The Buccaneers just were a mess at the end of the season.
So bad, yeah. But I also have Bucky higher, and I think I'd keep him that for now too.
Yeah, we'll see around training camp if anything comes out. But he should be good to go. Hopefully, I mean, he kind of always seems to have these lingering injuries as a smaller back.
Yeah,
But we've seen, I mean, he was like a second round pick last year. So
yeah.
I feel like people are too quick to forget like how high you were on some of these guys. Then one bad season, it's like, all right, I'm done with him. But
Yeah, the lingering injuries is tough with him, but I like where he's going a lot more than I like where he went last year. And
yeah,
unfortunately, I fell victim to second round pick Bucky
yeah. I
last year.
mean, I'm sure a lot of people felt that way.
But I like this spot a lot more
Uh,
for him. Like end of the fourth round, fifth
I mean, I
round,
think it'll
go
be
for
going
it.
later than that, honestly.
I can see it
I
too.
mean, I'm not sure how boards look exactly right now. It is early in the
Um,
off season.
all right, I got one for you. This one's a little farther down the board, but
Mhm.
two sophomore season guys. We got Travion Henderson and Quinshawn
I like
Judkins.
that. I haven't even really looked into them too much. I think I lean Quinshawn
Okay.
in that just because. again with the Patriots, I don't think really anything's going to change with that split. Ramondre was really
Better.
good last year. He was better. End of season numbers for Trevion looked good because he had a couple like huge games where he broke off like multiple 50-yard touchdowns, and he's that explosive type of player. But I don't really think he's going to get much more work, or I think it's gonna be the same split as it was this year. Because like they just were 14-3. They looked great. I don't really think they're gonna want to change anything. Josh McDaniels never has really a workhorse back. Ramondre looked great. And I think with Judkins, he's gonna be that lead guy.
I agree. Judkins is coming off a little bit of that scary injury, and the Browns offense we can't project to be great.
Yeah.
Is the hard thing about him. And I have Travion ranked higher right now. This
Uh-huh.
is all subject to change. They're one away from
Uh-huh.
each other. Um, the thing I kind of like about Travion is just the upside. I think he's a little bit better than what it is for Judkins. If, say, Ramondre goes down,
Yeah, Ramondre goes
or
down.
he gets a consistent 10 touches a game. Games where he was getting 10 touches a game last year, it felt like
Mm-hmm.
he was getting you a good week, a playable
Yeah.
week. But
Mm-hmm.
those weeks were far and few between, honestly.
Yeah.
But he was a first round pick, early second round pick.
Judkins, yes.
No, Travion.
Oh, Trevion, they're both early second round picks.
So like I definitely showed a lot of talent at Ohio State. I definitely think the Patriots know that talent's there.
Uh-huh.
I agree Josh McDaniels isn't going to change much, but I do think they're going to try to get this second year player a little more involved
Yeah. I mean,
in a
yeah.
better offense than what the Browns are going to be.
Yeah, I get that with the offense. I just think Quinshon's going to be getting that more consistent work, and he was before getting hurt. He was looking really good,
Yes.
and I mean the Browns' offense. They got a couple weapons there. They drafted a couple receivers. Apparently, Deshaun Watson's looked good in camp so far, but like I don't really know what to expect there. I think that they're very close. I think I just slightly feel a little more safer with Judkins.
And then I'll throw one on top of it. How about Jadarian
Yeah,
Price?
I wanted to get to him because he should be the lead back. Charbonnet tears ACL in the divisional round.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll be ready by the start of the year.
Logan.
Probably won't really be too involved even this whole season, just coming off that injury. They take Jaron Price in the first round. They got to sign Emmanuel Wilson in the offseason who looked good, like filling in for Jacobs. But yeah, guy I kind of wanted. Did you have any player you wanted to pair him against?
I had him against Judkins
The
and I
Judkins.
guess with he's probably a bit higher now, taking Charbonnet probably not being there week one into account. He's probably closer to like the Brees Jeremiah
I
level.
kind of had him against like Cam Scatterbo.
I have Cam right with Bucky and ETN,
Okay.
but um, yeah, I'm down for that. I'd probably rather have
Because
pro
Scotty is coming off that injury. He looks good. He's ripping backflips, which terrifies me, but he
yes.
looks like he's going to be good to go by the start of the year.
In my rankings right now, I have Scatterbo a good bit higher just because I honestly am not very educated on Jadarian Price. I know he was the backup to
Backup
Jeremiah
to
Love,
Carmelo.
but borderline first round pick. He was obviously
In the
that
first,
young
I
at
mean, yeah,
the,
last week the first round.
oh, is that what I thought he was the first pick of the second round.
Yeah, no, last week the first round, and I mean that says a lot considering he was the backup. So, like,
They're gonna trust him. I do
yeah,
feel like, and I mean, the Seahawks offense sure could regress a tad. They were
yeah,
like,
losing Clint Kubiak is
yes,
probably gonna hurt.
but with there being not much competition there in a good offense, I would probably rank him probably above
And yeah, and I
Gadabo.
consistently am seeing Skyward ranked fairly high, at least on Fantasy Pros, which a lot of these ADPs that I'm pulling come from. They have Skyward 19,
I
which
have him at 18.
okay, so you have him high too, and I love Skyward, but I think it's Tracy's great. Like Tracy's good too.
Agreed.
I think it's going to be a split. I don't. I think it's going to be a complete split. Honestly, I don't really see Skyward getting much more work, especially coming off of that injury.
The guys I have right below Scatabo are Bucky and ETN, and Bucky has the lingering injury history that
Yeah.
scares me with the three-man split.
Uh-huh.
And then ETN, I just don't know.
Yeah.
That's just it's kind of the same. The ETN and Scatabo are like a little bit that we don't really know, but I just feel
Uh-huh.
like like Harbaugh's going to
I
come
think we're
lean
going
on
to
the
run the
run,
ball a lot,
and Dart is going to run the ball a lot
and the
too.
O line should be much improved with Francis Marianola. We're going to
Yeah,
play him at guard. Hopefully, Andrew Thomas can stay healthy the whole year. We c- should. I mean, we had a solid O line last year for Giant standards. Hopefully, it continues to improve.
but I would probably rather have Price in the better. I'm gonna say better offense for now. Like I'm
Hmm.
gonna project the Seahawks to have a better
Yeah,
offense than the Giants for now. Um, and less competition. Like you said,
yeah,
Tracy is gonna take touches away,
hmm
whether it's a 50-50 split or he's just gonna have 10
yeah. I
touches
mean,
probably a game.
he's produced his first 2 years. I think going to keep giving him a fair amount of the carries. Two guys I want to bring up that I feel like are in similar ranks similarly. I have DeAndre Swift and David Montgomery.
Okay.
Swift is fair split with Mununga, but he was having his best year, probably his best year of his career last year. The Bears offense is just continues to get better with Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams and all their young players just getting better. And then Montgomery now on the Texans should be that elite guy.
Yes.
So where are you leaning with that?
I thought Montgomery, honestly, I won't say a step, but maybe it was half a step slower last year
Hmm.
in Detroit, and he's going to a situation in Houston where their offense has
Yeah,
been kind of iffy the
yeah,
last, like, since Stroud's rookie year.
yeah,
Um, so yeah, I just think he's aging a little bit. I don't know how much he really fits Houston. I think Mixon was a bit better of a fit there in Houston as
sure.
opposed to like a power back. I have Swift higher, especially if you can get Monangai with him in case Monangai ends up taking over more than Swift.
That
Though it would be rough making that decision of who I'm playing this week. It would be a lot nicer just I got Monty, I'm playing
Yeah,
Monty.
I think, yeah, I'd say Monty, he did like maybe a tad slow, but he still is good and would be good coming in for Gibbs. And it seems like he kind of just flows under the radar every year.
Yeah,
And now he's in a position where he's
elite.
the lead. I mean, they still putting Marks, who he was solid. He had a good, solid rookie year, but I think they're going to lean on Montgomery. They trade for him.
Yes.
And they,
Is Chubb still there or did he go
I
somewhere
don't even
else?
know.
I know he was
I
dubbed
think he's still
last
a free
year, but
agent. And then Mixon, I don't even know what's up with
yeah, I don't know
him.
what's up with him. I think he retired or damn near.
Yeah, he seems like pretty much out of the picture. So that's why, I mean, I think I still slightly lean Swift.
Yeah, I just want to. I'd
Just a
rather
better
have a piece of
offense.
Ben Johnson.
Yeah. But I think Montgomery is going to be giving you consistent 15 touches a week. And the Texans, hopefully, I mean, they're going to be in a lot of games just because how good their defense is. Hopefully, Stroud can return to what we saw that rookie year.
Would you rather have a guy like Judkins or Monty? Same kind
Hmm.
of powerhouse
And,
back, not going to catch a lot of
and
passes.
not a great
Offense.
offenses, even though the Texans are a good team, and both have good defenses. So in a lot of low scoring games,
Yeah.
I think, I think I might slightly lead Montgomery. Honestly,
Not coming off the injury.
actually, I think I lead Junkins. Just he's the younger guy. I think he's got more pop still. I know he's coming off an injury, but I think I'd lead Junkins in that.
Yeah, I have Judkins higher. I have Judkins above Swift right now.
Okay, yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's super close.
Hmm. And then those are about all the guys that I had like done information on. I looked into too many other guys. Are there any other guys you
Um,
wanted to shout out, or any two guys you wanted to discuss?
let's talk about Bill a little bit. He's
Okay.
kind of hard to project for me this year because like if he's the lead there, like he could have like he's somebody that can fly under a lot of radars in
Yeah,
some leagues. It's like he could be Javante.
sure. Yeah, I've been seeing because they do draft Nick Singleton,
Okay.
or I think they draft it's either him or Katron Allen, one of the Penn State backs. And I've been seeing like they may end up being
They
the
like him in
starter.
camp.
So and the I don't know, Commanders' offense is always just kind of. I
Is
mean,
Kingsbury still there or is he gone?
I think he's still there because I don't think he would just leave, see him somewhere else. I know he's not a head coach anywhere.
No.
So yeah, Bill, I don't know. I don't really know how I feel about him. Like, where do you have him ranked?
Um, right now, so I have my rankings a little weird, right? I have him like below Aaron Jones. I have him below the
Aaron
Steelers
Jones.
running backs,
Yeah,
Warren and
what?
Dowdle, and below Chuba.
Yeah, okay.
Right above Blake Corum.
I mean, yeah, I definitely have him above Quorum because
Well, he's kind of like the last starter,
starter.
like because like who's gonna be that Javante this year? That like workhorse that is kind
Like
of flying under radar. Because
could be
Javante,
Dowdle, but they still got Warren, so I
yeah,
don't think Warren. I don't think.
Jonathan Brooks is getting some hype, so I don't know if it's gonna
Yeah,
be Chuba.
yeah.
That's kind of why I have Bill or wanted to bring up Bill, just because I think there's a
I
chance that
think.
Commander's offense is good,
Mhm.
and Bill had some good games last year, had some low
He did
games,
have some big.
showed some talent.
Yeah, definitely. So I know I could see him having a big year, and he could be a steal late in drafts. Well, a guy that I feel like is seems like he's going to be the starter due to ETN leaving, Bushel Tootin,
Yes,
Facial Tootin.
a
I haven't
kid.
even have him ranked yet, but
I have him right below Bucky and ETN actually,
okay,
just
yeah,
because I don't know who else is there in Jacksonville to
yeah,
take carries away from. Like
and
he's fast, he's
mhm.
explosive.
I think that could be kind of your Javante of this year, even though I mean he's much younger
Yeah, and
and
I
not
think
switching
it looked
teams.
like he was kind of going higher than because he's my RB
Hmm
21 right now. So and I think
Yeah.
Javante was kind of I guess was he a top 24 running back ranked last year?
I don't know because I took him in like
Eighth?
seventh or eighth round,
Yeah.
which that was definitely my best pick of the draft.
Yeah. Save the season.
Yeah, it did
But
really.
no, Liam Cohen's always so what he's shown in the NFL is he's gonna have your offense firing.
Yeah, the Jags were great last year.
Yes, Tootin's young, no reason for him to really like decline athletically. He's not coming off
Hmm
any injury that I
No.
really know of.
hmm
Not really splitting with anybody else.
Yeah, because I don't even know who else they have there.
Yeah, because Tank Big G's
He's
gone. He's in
gone
Dallas.
to Philly.
Billy, was he in? Okay.
He's in Philly. He got traded last year. He's still there.
And then yeah, ETN's gone. So I honestly don't know
I
who's
think,
there.
yeah.
I have him right above Jadarian Price right now and
I
below ETN.
I think, yeah, DTN is a bit more proven.
Yes.
I think that's a fair spot to put him at.
That would be 21.
Mm.
Um, yeah, I don't know if there's really anybody else, but
Yeah.
I need
I
to
mean, we'll
mention.
get this is just still like early in the off season, just kind of initial rankings. Stuff's gonna change. Injuries always happen in preseason and training camp, so stuff will change.
Definitely.
But yeah, those are our running backs. I think we'll do receivers next.
Yeah, we'll try and come out in a week or so with
Uh-huh.
receivers.
But thank you for tuning in, and
Yes, yes.
we'll see you in the next one.